The Ondo State crisis between Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and his deputy, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has continued to take new turns each passing day. The situation started when Mr. Aiyedatiwa served as acting governor for 3 months whilst the governor was away on medical leave. During that period, aides to Mr. Akeredolu had accused the deputy of playing politics and not being loyal to the governor.
It was, of course, at that time that the governor and, of course, his deputy developed, some type of rift. And upon his return, the governor sacked the media aides of the deputy governor without providing any concrete reason. The deputy governor has since denied allegations of disloyalty and a cold relationship with the governor over his alleged 2024 governorship ambition and has also apologized. Now, while the Ondo State Assembly has launched a bid to remove the deputy, elders have met to seek a peaceful resolution to the crisis between both of them. Now, joining us this morning is the Chief Press Secretary to the acting governor, Kenneth Odusola-Stevenson, former Chief Press Secretary, I beg your pardon. Good morning, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. This seems like a crisis that has taken too long, and at this point, it might even be governance that has suffered the most in Ondo State. So can you, before we get into the current details, can you share with us what has happened in the last couple of weeks or months since the governor returned back to the country? It doesn't seem like it's ending anytime soon either.
Well, I don't know if it's going to end very soon. Thank you very much for this this opportunity. But what in the last couple of months, the governor and the deputy, I'm sure they've seen it maybe once or twice when he returned from the medical leave, and he has since resumed office. However, the whole thing started very, very funny. To me, as a media entrepreneur, I believe that this thing shouldn't have taken this long to have been nip in the bud. But this is where we found ourselves, because some people may feel they are eating out of this particular situation and think that it's going to go for a long time. So the governor and the deputy, they have just about a year left to go, and then the state must run. That's just what's important about all this matter, because at the end of the day, it is the people of the state that needed some kind of your direction at this point, as many elders and leaders of thought in Ondo State have actually spoken about it. But in terms of what has happened, I think there's a case in court. The governor says that the deputy should sort his step out with the state assembly. That's not directly from the governor, all right, but I'm sure it's from one of his aides. But for me, as someone who is a seasoned personality in this industry, and I believe that this has taken too long and it should just end.
I mean, this is not the first time that we're seeing this happen. We've seen fights and sort of disagreements between governors and their deputies. Very recently, we saw that happen in Edo State. Now, looking at, I don't know if we have an insight into exactly what the cause of this friction between the governor and his deputy, where it stems from. Recently, civil society organizations did call for the governor to transfer power to his deputy whilst he's attending to his medical health. There's also been allegations of gross misconduct on the part of the deputy as well. So we wonder if you can sort of maybe give us a picture as to have they clearly admitted to what exactly is the cause of this friction, because we know that sometimes there's more to it than meets the eye.
Well, see, the thing is this, as far as I'm concerned, all right, to be honest, I'm not sure I've seen anything that the deputy governor has done, to be honest. I was an insider. Throughout the period that the governor was on medical leave, I was an insider. And I didn't see anything that the deputy governor did wrong, to be honest. And then, these are two people that have been so close and share common things, as a matter of fact. And since the assumption of the office for the second time, and with the deputy governor on seat, all right, the governor had handed over power to him 4 times before the last one. 4 times. Just about a month and a half into the administration, he handed over power in acting capacity. And he had done that 4 times. So, and at all times, it's always been a healthy situation, to be honest. And At all times, it's always been a show of gratitude from both ends. But this last one, all right, there were so many insinuations that went on. People said that the deputy governor, because of his ambition and all of that. I put it, I'd like to say it very clearly. The governor has always touted the deputy as his successor at different fora. And that may have, the anger some of the people, the gladiators who wanted to contest the election and all of that. And in May this year, the deputy governor went, after the general election, went straight to the governor to ask for permission for him to allow his followers to, because there was a lot of pressure from followers, this is politics, to allow his followers to do some subtle, what do you call, social media campaign, image making and all of those kind of things, because a lot of them were doing it without his permission. So, and he stopped them. But he went ahead to ask the governor to say, look, these guys are making a lot of mess out of these things. I want to stop them. The governor said, go ahead. That you have my blessing. And I was there when he sent a message to the governor to show gratitude for allow him to move on with that particular campaign. I was there. So for me, I believe that so many of these things had to do, people say politics, but I think that we are all, every human being is a political animal, but we don't have to play politics to this extent. The fact is that everybody will aspire, but only one person will become the governor. But you don't have to destroy somebody's character or tarnish somebody's image before you become something else, because it won't help you at the end of the day. So I didn't see anything, because the deputy governor acted very, very well. Yes, the publicity around the deputy governor was heavy, because at that point in time, he was attending the National Economic Council meeting, and you needed to report it. At that point in time, he was representing the governor at the governor's forum. You must report it. So it became a lot that, look, this guy is becoming too popular for some of these gladiators. And they felt that, look, we must cut his wings. And so they must have, because I've not seen the governor since he came back, they must have done to tell the governor some things, but I don't know what they told him. But as far as I'm concerned, the deputy governor had done nothing wrong. Yes, as an Omoluabi, he had gone ahead to apologize based on the advice of the elders and leaders of the party that, look, whatever happens, put an end to all this. Apologize if you have offended him by whatever means. Just apologize and let's move on. All right? And that's where we are today. So, but I mean, even instead of people appreciating the fact that this guy stood up to apologize, some other people started making some noise and started making some insinuations as if there was something more than what we have seen. All right? And the worst aspect of it, that denigrating, playing politics with the office of the deputy governor of Ondo State. Anybody could occupy that position. Some ESCO members who are called political appointees, you don't have the right to keep talking down on the deputy governor. But they've been doing that for quite a while. But for whatever reason, I don't know. Because this guy is currently the deputy governor of Ondo State. And for me, as I was an insider, he had done absolutely nothing wrong. I managed his image along with my colleagues throughout the period of the acting capacity 4-5 times, and there was nothing wrong. So I don't know where they got all these their things. I mean, people are dancing around like, all over the places in the state and talking on, all sorts of things. But I think it's time for us to put this behind us.
Yeah, and there's growing concerns about how this is also affecting governance in Ondo State. I've just, I think in the last couple of days seen complaints about how Ondo is not even represented properly at the presidential FEC meeting and the likes. But I also want to talk about, the reports of elders, stepping in. For example, the Fenifere elder, Fasharanti, stepping in to, of course, bring, these two people together and see how they can achieve peace in Ondo State. Do you think that this might, maybe be able to sort out the challenges that they're having? Will these elders and will these Yoruba elders be able to bring these two together?
No, I believe that, well, all of these guys that are playing politics with the life of the governor and that of the deputy governor, all right? The elders that had their meeting are old enough to be their fathers, the likes of Olufalaye, the likes of Osarogie. I think they got tired of what was going on. And these were the states where some of them worked with the power Jackson in those days. They were part of the founding fathers of that state. And there was no way they could steer the state going this way that it's going. And they came together. Nobody prompted them. They came together, called one another, and said, look, this thing must stop. So I think that instead of us looking at that particular position and looking at the elders who have spoken very well, all right, that everyone must drop their sword. Then look at what even happened yesterday. Some ESCO members put themselves together and now decided they wrote a vote of confidence on the, on the governor, and they, some of their old, allies twisted the story. They twisted the story. I read their communique or whatever report they signed and saying they passed vote of confidence, even though we are not in a parliamentary system. Vote of confidence on the governor. It's okay. You can pass votes of confidence, but you don't have to twist the story to make it look like the deputy governor wants to impeach the governor. That was why they are passing vote of confidence. Some newspapers, some bloggers reported it that way. That was wrong. And those that were passing votes of confidence, some of them were ESCO members. And I want to believe all of them. But and the moment that is done, you are more or less overheating the politics again. You are more or less sending a message out there, all right, that something is wrong in Ondo State. So when are we going to stop bringing in Ondo State to ridicule for the wrong reasons? You went ahead and wrote a communique. You started publishing wrong stories around it. The narratives were all over the places in the wrong way. Deputy wants to do this. They want to impeach the deputy and all of that. This was after the elders had met and they had spoken and they had a communique. I think those people needed to have waited and see to the fact that these are the founding fathers of this state and they had spoken. And let's listen to them and see how far they can go. Even help to resolve the whole thing if it needs be. But here we are today. Another news started flying around yesterday. This want to do this, this want to do that. So those states in the names for the wrong reasons. I think some of these baby politicians, all right, should understand that Ondo State will be there when they are there. It will be there when they are all gone.
Absolutely.
And that state must be allowed to move on.
Mr. Odusola, finally, we're out of time, so please, in 20 seconds, can you share with us, what the, the health status of the governor currently is like?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the governor since he came back from Germany. I've only seen pictures the first time when he first came. And since then, I have not seen the governor, so I don't know the health status, all right? But I'm told that he's still recuperating in Ibadan, your state capital, in his home, and that's all I know about it. But the deputy governor is always on seat. The deputy governor has been on those states. He's healthy and is there. So I believe that what needs to be done is the fact that the deputy governor is on seat, and people must respect that, and also work with the deputy governor as much as possible while working with the governor.
All right. Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, and of course for shedding some light on what's going on over there in Ondo State. What's most important really is governance, and we hope that the people of Ondo State get to experience some of it, before the end of this tenure. Kenneth, Odusola-Stevenson, thank you very much for joining us once again.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much.
All right, let's move away from Ondo and now go to the Federal Capital Territory, where a court of appeal sitting in Abuja has voided the election of Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State and declared the election inconclusive. Now, this comes after the Independent National Electoral Commission declared Dauda Lawal of the People's Democratic Party winner of the election.
The All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Bello Matawale had challenged the outcome of the March 18th governorship election at the tribunal, but his petition was dismissed for lacking in merit. But while delivering judgment yesterday, the court declared the election as inconclusive and ordered INEC to hold a rerun election in 3 local government areas of Maradun, Berenin, Magaji, and Bukoyom. Now, let's also tell you that the governors of Kano, Ababir Yusuf, and his Bauchi State counterpart, Bala Mohammed, will know their fate today as the court will pass judgment on the appeal by the opposition in their states. Of course, we'll be bringing you all the details here on News Central Television later today in our subsequent programs. It's a season of elections, a season of judgments in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So we have announcements that we made today here in Nigeria, and even outside Nigeria. We'll be hearing the updates in Liberia as well.
Yes.
A lot of people will be finding out what their fate is. And by tomorrow, they'll be, oh, interesting. We won't be here tomorrow, but of course, News Central will bring all the updates.
By Monday, we'll know, who's still governor and who's no longer governor, and of course, who's the new president or who's, remaining as president. I did see people who say that in the Liberia's case, Joseph Boakai isn't necessarily, it doesn't feel like anything would change even if he wins. But, for me, I think it's also very, very telling, about the strength of the electoral system. And the fact that, an incumbent could lose an election,
whilst in office.
Yes. And even if, yes, it's not like losing by a wide margin or anything, but the fact that it is possible is inspiring, and I think that other countries need to learn from that. Which
is why I asked Professor Adam Kine that is it because they really believe in Bukai, or they just want an opposition, anybody but Bukai, anybody but Judge Ware?
But the thing is, as what it has shown is that they have the power.
Yes.
So whatever it is that is motivating the reason, for me it doesn't matter. For me it is the part where they actually have the power to make that decision. Yeah, I think that's what's most important. And I wish that Nigerians felt the same way. Because, regardless of how it is painted, Nigerians do not feel that they have that power.
It's almost like there's an automatic assumption that once you get into office, you have 2 terms in office.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're done with your 2 terms, you're out, unless you've maybe bitten some fingers that fed you in the first term, and then the political powers that be would then decide to frustrate your time in office. And
because if you look at what happened here in Lagos State, the reasons why one of the governors, didn't get a second time wasn't because, he wasn't performing well. The reasons were so absurd that you would never imagine that this is, these are statements being made from people who are meant to be governed by, by a person. It just, it's mind-blowing.
We're not quite done with political godfatherism and the politicking of politics on the continent, but...